Here's a scenario for you. I've made all of my quilt blocks and they look fantastic. Problem is, they're not all exactly the same size. Now what? Sure, I could trim them all down and make them the same size, or I could do something just a little different and add a design element. Hi, I'm Amy and I make things. And today I'm making sure all of my blocks fit together, but in a little bit less conventional fashion. Come on, let's talk about it. I'll show you what I mean. I started with a pile of scraps. It's how I start most things. And I began making quarter log cabin blocks, right? Now my friend Cathy of the Catbird Quilts has a beautiful video about how to make a precision log cabin block, because a log cabin block is one where errors or inconsistencies can compound as you make the block, as you expand the block. And everything she says is exactly right, and every tool she gives you is absolute perfection. These are not those blocks. These are not those blocks. I am more of a chaos quilter in general. And in this project in particular, I was really sort of embracing the chaos of it because I wasn't sure where it was going. So I was just making blocks and adding strips and making decisions as I went, which is not normally my MO. I like a pretty sketched out plan before I begin, but these, I didn't know how much fabric I'd have, and I didn't know how things were gonna fit together. So this is a situation where winging it, learning as I went, was really working for me. And so I've had this project in the wings for a while and I need to get it laid out and put together. But then one of you asked me this question. I'll pop it up right here. And I'm gonna read for a minute. So, hi Amy, I'm making disappearing 9-patch blocks, but they are not coming out the same size. How would you handle this? And then she goes on to say that she was thinking about sashing and cornerstones. And I thought, oh, I know exactly how I would handle it because I had already done it. I just hadn't gotten it here yet. It's a great question. This is something that we all come up against at some point. And there are lots of reasons why blocks come out not the same size. You're doing all the same things, but maybe you're using different sewing machines, and so your seam allowance has some variance. Maybe you're just an in general chaos quilter and don't pay quite enough attention to that 1/4 inch precision seam, or don't care to pay attention to that 1/4 inch precision seam. Maybe you're using different rulers, and let me tell you, the inconsistency from ruler to ruler can be vast. So maybe your pre-cuts are not all the same size. Some are more generous, some are... A 2.5 inch strip is rarely a 2.5 inch strip in those pre-cuts, let me tell you. Maybe you've got blocks from a group of quilters and they all come in kind of close. Whatever the reason, here you are, ready to lay out and assemble your quilt, and blammo! Your blocks do not line up in a way that can't be fixed in the seam allowance. So what are you gonna do? Right? What do we do now? You throw it in the corner and avoid it and move on to the next project? I mean, no. Maybe for a minute. But if we want to solve the problem instead of just avoid it, what are we gonna do? Convention says trim all your blocks down to a uniform size. Well, okay, but there are a couple of problems with that. Number one, you might lose points or design elements that you really don't want to lose. Number two, your quilt's going to end up smaller than you want it to be, and that can be a problem. And number three, I don't like to precision trim blocks. Maybe that's just me. I know some people really dig it. But you can lose design elements. If you start cutting into the design of your block, you're going to lose things that you really don't want to lose. All right, it's going to change the way the pieces in your blocks fit together, not just the blocks fitting together. And here we are again at what do you do? One solution that I have used very effectively from time to time is creating a fudge factor within sashing, specifically offset sashing. So let me drop in some old footage. You'll see different hair, different glasses, anyway, but it's some old footage explaining exactly what I mean and how I did it. Okay, so I've got my blocks to this point, right? These are my quarter log cabin blocks, free to finish. They started with those little triangles, half square triangles. The blocks, by math calculations, should measure 10.5 inches square. But as I stated in the intro, I am fully embracing my chaos quilting nature, and my blocks are 10.5 inches-ish square. So what I'm going to do, because I do want the quilt to lay square, and I'm going to set them on point. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go through my whites scrap bin, and I am going to cut some strips. I am going to cut some strips that are about 3 inches wide. No, that are 3 inches wide. Then I will put those strips one more row on the log cabin block, and then I will trim it to 12.5 inches square. Now, that will mean that the outside white border along the top edge of each of the blocks is not quite even. I'm okay with that because visually you're not going to notice it. What you'll notice is that the blocks are all the same size, and what I will notice is that they all fit together smoothly. So, embracing my chaos quilting nature and working around it, with it really, working with it to solve a problem and come out with a block that works evenly in my planned design. So you saw that footage. That is exactly what I did. I cut these white pieces at 3 inches, and I added one more row, and then I trimmed the entire block with this as my starting point. I trimmed any excess off of these two sides so that this block measures 12.5 inches. So it will finish at 12 inches because I didn't want to lose any of my log cabiny, let me back it up, any of my log cabiny goodness on these two sides. So I added extra. And because I'm going to set these on point, you will never see it, right? Even though, which side is it? Let's see if I can get it up there where you can see it. The white in this front one is 1/4 inch shorter than the white in the second one. On one side, you're never going to see it. And this works when you do it on two sides of your block. Because what happens when you use this offset sashing, and I'll include some pictures, is that the sashing moves around. It doesn't ever line up. You know, we think of sashing and it's like lining things up, like the one behind me here, where you're lining things up in rows and putting the sashing between the rows to make a grid. This is not that. This is moving the sashing around the quilt so that your eye doesn't notice the little tiny inconsistencies. So when I set this quilt on point like this, and I'll show some overhead footage here in just a minute, on point like this, because the sashing, like in this photo, like in this EQ8 drawing, because the sashing is moving around and never really lining up in a grid format, it's breaking up the lines and tricking your eye so that you don't see it, and you're never going to notice it. It's dancing around. Now this will work for on point, and this will work, as seen here, for a straight setting. You just have to turn your blocks so that the sashing doesn't line up in a grid. You have to offset it from one another so that it moves around. Okay, so you can see right here that I've got my quarter log cabin block. Well, how I'm going to put these together, I'm going to move this down so you can see, is like this. See, and right here you can see maybe that this, yeah, you can see that this white strip is shorter than this one. No problem, because they're not going to line up, right? It doesn't matter, because I'm going to put them together like this. And that little variance with these on point is not even going to matter. Now, I know that these guys a little bit line up right here, but it's not going to matter because the quilt is so very busy that you're not going to see it. Now, you can do it this way, or like I show in the pictures, you can turn one like this and turn the next one like this, right? And then this one goes up. And see, my sashings are not aligning. They're not lining up. They're not going to create a grid. And then on my next row, I'm running into my equipment here. Let me show you. On the next row, whoops, that one hit the ground. On the next row, I'm going to turn this one up and this one down. So the sashing is never going to line up in a grid. It's going to dance all around the block, and you're never going to see that the sashing is not all exactly the same. What you're going to see is that the blocks fit together nicely. Well, what I'm going to see when I sew it together, that's going to be how it all works. So it's a super easy solution to a very common problem. And it does a couple of things. Number one, it makes it really easy to trim your block because you're trimming in a solid piece instead of in your piecing. Number two, it makes your quilt bigger really quickly, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, but it doesn't have to be that much. You don't have to leave that much here. Now, I will say that the less you leave, the more noticeable variances will be. So, you know, play with it, see what works for you. The whole idea is to break up the lines, because when the lines are already broken, your eye's going to jump around and it's going to give a lot of movement to your quilt. It's going to give it a dynamic design. It gives you another place to add a design element in your quilt as well. And the tiny variances and lack of uniformity hides amongst the busyness of the movement of the quilt. So I find this to be a very effective solution. Now, it is a tool, and it will not solve all the problems. It won't work in every situation. Sometimes you need blocks to go a specific way. Sometimes you need blocks to be pushed right against each other so you get your secondary design. It is not the right answer for every question. But if you have blocks that you just need to make fit, this is a great solution. And it's easy. It's so easy. But it looks complex. It looks involved. And that is my favorite kind of solution. So next time you're in a jam with some inconsistent blocks, give this offset sashing a try and see if it doesn't create a dynamic new quilt that disguises all the variances and makes it all come together easily. Thank you so much to Gebel the Rebel. I'm not sure. Gebel the Rebel, however you pronounce it. Forgive me. Thank you so much for the question, because I think it's a great one. And I think this is something that we come up against a lot. So now I can get these blocks all laid out and sewn together and in line at the long arm, which is a different challenge entirely. Oh, hey, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But you guys, please let me know in the comments if you've ever tried this fudge factor sashing trick, or if you have something different altogether that works for you. Please let us know and share with us while you're down there. Like, subscribe, all the YouTube things that help us grow our creative corner of the internet. I can't wait to hear your ideas. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right here. I hope that you do. More than anything, I hope you never forget that you make the world more beautiful just by being in it. I'm Amy, and I'll see you next time.